Last week we got to ride the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroad, and we made it pretty apparent how much of a treat we thought that was. Today we're taking you into their Roundhouse Museum. There's a lot here. There's beautiful dioramas and scratch-built models of all scales. Here we see a 1/20th scale model of the Durango station. There's memorabilia. There's old, what I would call toy trains. Of course, there's real trains as we go around. Now, a little later, Jimmy Booth and Roland Curtis are going to be talking to Jeff here, and he'll share a little bit more of the history and explain what all they have here. But I thought it was fascinating in walking around the extreme variety that's here. I was happy to see that they even have Lego trains, which we're coming up on. And, of course, I wouldn't be satisfied unless we found some brass trains, and we're going to see several of those too. Not only operating on the layouts, but even in various exhibits. Here's a couple there right now, so that does my heart well. We really think it's an excellent place if you haven't had a chance to visit here. And honestly, it's almost easy to pass by this museum because you're so excited to get on the train. But there's things such as this beautiful shadow box diorama. And then we're seeing here a very large layout. And again, we see some brass trains here. If you look up over here, we have some of Jimmy Booth's and PBL models. And then there's some brass running on this layout too. So we certainly enjoyed our visit here, and we feel it's well worth you taking a visit if you have that opportunity.
We're in the Durango and Silverton Roundhouse Museum with old friend Jeff Ellingson.
Hi, how are you
doing? And we're looking forward to a little mini tour of the museum.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, the museum opened 20 years ago in May. And we started off being strictly a railroad museum, but over time we wanted to tell the story between the relationship with the railroad and the town of Durango, as well as the town of Silverton. And so that's why we've got some other artifacts in here, like fire trucks and airplanes and automobiles, because they all have a railroad connection. And the story of these pieces is what that makes that connection happen. So it's a lot of fun.
And Jeff, tell us a little bit now, how long have you been here at the museum?
Well, I've been with the museum since it opened 19 years ago, but with the company 34 years.
34 years, very good. And during that time, we were talking a little earlier, you've worn many hats. Tell us some of the things that you've done.
Well, I started out in restoration work over in the car shop and spent a lot of time over there bringing vintage railroad passenger equipment back to life. And then that sort of morphed into the operating department, where I started out as a brakeman and then really wanted to get a shovel in my hand and fire locomotives. So did that for quite a number of years and worked myself into the engineer's seat and did that as well. But my true passion is shoveling coal. I love to fire locomotives.
Awesome. And you've painted locomotives. You're also an artist yourself. You've done paintings that are just absolutely exquisite. We saw some of them here in the museum, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I love to get hired to do watercolor paintings for people, and I'm a commissioned artist. I do that a lot. I also actually paint the equipment. I don't do that anymore, but I did that for a little over 20 years here at the railroad.
Beautiful.
So can you tell us about some of the exhibits in the museum?
Yes, we've got vintage locomotives like the ones behind us here. The 42 here was originally a Rio Grande locomotive. Its number was 420, but in 1905 they leased this engine to the Rio Grande Southern, and it's been the 42 ever since. It's a restorable engine, but currently it's a museum piece. Behind me, the 478 is one of 3 K-28s that we have in operation here at the railroad, and it is a operating steam locomotive. We've got passenger cars in here, like the one you guys were on, the B7, which is a business car that is owned by the Harpers. Well, actually, all of this is owned by the Harpers. But anyway, next track over, we've got a car that was used in the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It was used in the first robbery scene. And then behind that is the only immigrant sleeper car in existence, narrow gauge sleeper car here in the museum. We've got a narrow gauge caboose that people can go through. We've got a big military display. We want to say thank you to our armed forces folks that ride the train, and when they come into the museum, that whole display back there is just a big thank you to our military. So lots of things for people to see and do. We've got a huge HO layout for the kiddos here, and big kids and little kids enjoy that. Also, we've got dioramas, we've got artwork, as we mentioned, photographs, all kinds of railroadiana, artifacts of that type and nature.
We even have an airplane hanging up there.
We've got a 1913 Curtiss Pusher Model D, which was the first airplane to fly in Durango. But it was brought here by the train and in a box, and they assembled it at the fairgrounds, and it flew here for the Colorado and New Mexico Fair in 1913. And so, yes, Durango's first airplane didn't fly here. It was brought here by the railroad.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So much history, so much memorabilia here. Someone could spend a few hours here easily.
I hope
taking
so.
all of this in. So tell us again, admission is free, but
admission is free at the museum, and the Harper family is adamant about that. They want people, if they want to come in, please do. Please come and see us. We do have a suggested donation that we have. And but again, that's completely optional.
Takes a lot of money to keep these things restored.
Yeah. It does.
Build new exhibits.
It does, and Harpers are extremely generous. But you know, the bottom line is we do have to try to have some revenue coming in.
You bet.
well, hey Jeff, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your time
Appreciate
thank you.
and joining with us.
Absolutely,
Excellent.
guys.
Thank you.
Welcome to Monday Morning Evening Express, and I say that because we're sipping on a little wine and can't do that on Monday morning. But we had to.
Yeah, I usually have this with my cereal.
He's on California. You're on California time.
Yeah, I'm waking up right now.
But we had to celebrate a little bit having you come out to visit us, Boyd. Thank you for coming.
What a location. This place is amazing. It's just a brass paradise, you know. Everybody's got to make a trip out here. This place is, I can't believe the room
Having
after
some fun.
room. It's amazing. I've just been having a good time over here, and I'm just starstruck.
And you brought an empty suitcase, but you're not going home with an empty suitcase.
I don't need that laundry. You know, I'll go back with brass. Oh, wow.
Now, Boyd, not only did you become a movie star in season 2, but you inspired these Monday Morning Express t-shirts. And not only do they look amazing from the front, but in the back, we will see that they are the Brotherhood of Brass Locomotives Painters Work Union. So tell us where that started.
Well, that's an inside joke that happened years ago with the original Whistle Stop, run by our buddy Fred Hill. He was throwing his yearly Christmas party. And at the Christmas party, the painters, Juan Zuliega and Jerry Spolma, we all decided to join our own little union to raise up the prices on him. Well, Fred was the destroyer of our union. Our union didn't last very long. But as being whistle stop painters, all right, that we always were united, and I never painted steam because I would be crossing union lines. So I stayed with passenger, and Juan and Jerry painted steam. So it was nice to. And I've kept my shirt, and last year
We had it on the show,
season 2,
right?
I was wearing it, and people were asking about it. Where can I get those shirts?
So we're extending the union.
Extended union, open up more brothers into this union.
Yes.
And this time I'm going to do them in black because the white ones with all the paint.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't have to paint in these just yet, right? Because they're nice and new.
Oh,
Come on.
you got to paint with these.
These are
things.
beautiful.
You got to buy a bunch of shirts.
There
so you have
you go.
spares. Yeah.
Well, I think it's important we let our viewers know that these are made with Peruvian alpaca wool. They're
Only the
stitched.
best,
They're
only the
stitched
best,
in Milan,
yeah.
Italy, handcrafted. And so, I mean, the price of
That's a very low price.
$342 is very reasonable for these shirts. They're so comfortable. I wear them 2 at a time.
So buy them in sets of 2?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, at least. But anyways, tell us what the real pricing
Yeah,
is.
so hey, good news. You know, we got them at a good price and everything, and we certainly appreciate the cooperation of the printer that you had. I believe they're Gildan shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice quality
They are
shirts.
comfortable.
High quality Gildan
So
Yeah.
very good. So we're going to have them on our site at brasstrains.com, $24.95, and depending on an individual size, there might be a small incremental fee on that, but you'll see them all listed on there for sale and available.
Good. I'm glad others will be able to wear them.
Yeah, I
I mean, they weren't able to get the mugs, but now it's shirts.
You can get the shirts.
They can buy the
We're out there in
shirts.
public.
Yeah.
Wearing proud.
we're all gonna
That's
be proud.
right.
Yeah, we'll march all the way to Washington with these.
Hey, for all those guys, and we've heard all the guys who have actually taken a lot of the tricks that we were able to show last year and now have started doing some of their own painting. So get the shirt, wear it proud, and join us in it, right? So nice effort.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be showing another cool little segment where you bought a few diesels on our sale.
On your sale.
And then what you did
That was
with
the end
them.
of last
So,
year's on season 2.
yeah, that'll be a little
Talked about
fun.
it. Yeah, so
right.
let's see what they look like.
Yeah, can't
So
wait.
look forward to that. All right.
Well, thanks again, Boyd. We appreciate you coming by and look forward to spending a little more time with you the next few days.
All right, thanks.
Welcome to the very first in-studio series of How To with Hal. And Hal, let me just be the first to say thanks for coming on down to the shop.
I'm glad to be here.
All right.
And looking forward to this little demonstration on repair.
You have no idea how long you're going to be here because we're going to do a few of these in series. So we're here in our shop. Your desk may or may not look like this. I'm not going to say forgive us because the desk can get messy at times. There's no doubt about it.
And I do not have on my repair shirt either.
Uh-oh, look out. So we'll try not to get you too dirty, all right?
Okay.
Okay. But what we're going to do in this segments of How To with Hal, we're going to go through some common problems that perhaps you've bought a brass model train and you put it on the track, whether it's through us, through eBay, who knows what, but you have something wrong with it. Or it's been sitting for a while and you've got something wrong with it. Perhaps it needs what we'll call a lube and tube. Perhaps you found you know of a short in the model. How do you go about fixing those things? Well, with our specialist Hal here, he's going to show us some of the techniques that he's used and really perfected over the years in being able to repair these models. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to outline for you at the outset what particular repair project this is that we're going to get into, and then you can go back and look at this series as we develop these over the course of time. So does that sound good?
Sounds great. I'm
Excellent.
ready to go.
So we'll get into that in our very first segment in how to lube and tube a brass model train. It's a sunset piece. All right, it's a Great Northern 04282 model. So with this, Hal, I've got the model, I've purchased it, I get it out, and well, I'm testing it. And one of the things that we're going to see with this model is that, well, she's just not running.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take this off the chassis.
Okay.
And if you'll hand me a small Phillips head, I've got one right here.
Got it?
Now, these are common. I'm just going to loosen that so I can slide that and take out this cylinder screw. Okay, it should come right off.
Okay.
As you can see, that
so
would
hold
not
it over
have
here,
run.
and we can see it above too.
That would not have run at all.
Look at the tube. Look at all that. It's all broken. So if I can just point to it right there, you can even see if you turn it just a little bit this way, like this. We'll see. Look at the crack. Yeah, there you go.
It's gone. So
see, it's
we're
no
gonna
good.
Take the X-Acto knife and cut that off. going to take the gearbox off.
And so in this case, if we would have put that on the track, we would have just heard it spinning. That's it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have
That's
done
all.
anything.
Wouldn't have done nothing.
Now I'm going to replace all these screws. These are all brass plated screws that come in these models.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to replace them with Northwest Shortline black plated steel
Right.
screws.
And
A
explain
lot
that.
easier to put
Mhm.
back in.
Put back in, and also aesthetically, if you were to go paint this model, right?
It would look better.
It would look better.
Okay. Take that and throw that into the lacquer thinner.
All right, here we go. We're going to put that gearbox in there. And tell us, why are we putting it in the lacquer
Just
thinner?
get the...
That's right, because it's hardened over.
Now, at home, I have an ultrasonic cleaner that I keep
Okay,
with.
so we could do that too.
I have water in my ultrasonic cleaner,
Mm-hmm.
about that much. I just set this down in the water with
Okay.
the lacquer thinner in this jar, and all that grease will come out of it.
Okay.
But before I do anything, I'm going to put a drop of oil on each bearing.
And so explain why we're doing this.
A lot of times the lubrication dries up. I've seen where you couldn't even turn the wheels.
Right, right.
And I'm going to put a little bit on the motor shaft, on the rear. Now this one I'm going to come from the back side. I could take if this was a painted, nice
Right, you
painted
could take
model,
that.
I'd take this axle retainer plate off, and
Right.
so I wouldn't get oil. Now something I'll do here is just put it on.
And so that's a good point, because there's no motor attached, there's no tubing, no nothing, no gearbox.
Now I'm working in the lubricants.
Right, right.
That's
And you can really see anything that's there with that mechanism, as far as even any of the side rods. If anything's out, it would show right there.
Yeah. That's a good mechanism.
And like you say, it works the oil in. And as far as the oil is concerned itself, maybe just let's go ahead and tell them exactly what type of oil this is. And
Oh,
everything.
this is a LaBelle's light lube. I've been
Right.
using, when mine gets empty, I just fill it up with 3-in-1 oil. And I've never had any problem
Okay,
with it.
good, good. Okay, and these are, it's common to find stuff like this out there. You can order them. Even some of the tools and the parts that we're going to use, Northwest Shortline's a good supply
Yeah,
of this.
oh, yeah.
You also mentioned with some of this stuff, maybe even jeweler stores, like with tools and
Yes,
things like that. Right?
I have got to go to a jeweler supply down in Orlando, FDJ, Florida Discount Jeweler. They're online. You can Google them. And I got many of my modelers tools down there.
Good, good. And of course, during these series, we'll go through, and audience is going to see some of the tools we got. We'll try to explain them as best as we can, and perhaps even where to get some of these.
I thought, Chuck, we've had a great day, but it's time for some final observations.
Wait a second. We're in a business car. Let's keep it to business.
Fine, we'll keep it to business. But hey, we did have a couple interesting thoughts for you. We threw out kind of a project idea. Roland, you want
Yeah.
to talk about it a little bit?
Now, what about doing something in the Heritage Series, the Norfolk Southerns? 20 cars.
Well, first of all, let me welcome you to the Union Terminal Imports business car.
Business first.
And I think that's actually a pretty exciting idea.
Yeah.
And I know it's a brand new idea. So I can tell you that we'd be happy to work with you on that and see what we can come up with in terms of how we would put the research package together and the data package. And I know you guys have the ability to find out what level of interest there might be.
Right.
So let's get started thinking about it and working on it.
And we're going to ask for a little of that interest from our viewers right now. If you're interested in seeing that project, the Norfolk Southern Heritage, 20 different schemes on those 2 different locos,
Yeah. beautiful, beautiful models, ES44s, right? The SDs on there
70
also,
aces,
the
yeah.
70s, yeah, and just spectacular looking models. Norfolk Southern, I believe they had these out in 2012. They took this particular caption, this shot of all of them together there in the Roundhouse. Just looks spectacular. So it's something that we feel might generate some interest.
It is a great shot. And on behalf of my partner, Ed Kurzynski, with whom I have not discussed this yet, I know Ed's interest really lies in modern diesels. And I guess I better not commit for Ed, but I'm pretty sure Ed's going to be interested in working on this with us too.
You know what's going to happen is Ed's not going to let you in the train yard anymore with us.
Ever
Right?
again.
Well, and think about it, it's great because if you want some of the roads, that's fine. But what a great thing to collect all 20 of them, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that would just be fabulous.
Would be
Yeah,
in a-
absolutely.
In a special presentation
That's what
case.
we're
Yeah, wouldn't that be
tossing
nice?
about.
All right, so you mentioned that particular case, and something that Dan and I, we know we had mentioned is something that would be on the wall for an individual to be able to collect all 20 of these for the individual locos.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
Now, they won't come out all at once.
Right.
Right? Those engines are going to be produced maybe and come out in groups of 5.
I think 5 would probably be good.
But it would be a steady incremental release.
Yes.
We even talked about having an extended layaway program
Sure.
available. But eventually, can you imagine that hanging on the wall filled with those 20 Heritage Scheme locos?
In fact,
Absolutely beautiful.
I'm clearing out a room in my office right now.
I can imagine it, yeah.
All right, so that's something that our viewers, you can email us at mme@brasstrains.com. Let us know your interests, and hopefully we'll get this project off the ground with UTI.
Okay.
All right,
Great.
sound good?
Yep.
I think we need to step inside and do a little more business in this business car.
Let's go.
Sounds good.
Well, time flies when you're having fun. It was a great show. We've been having fun.
Yeah, where else can you have wine at work?
We didn't actually drink.
Yeah.
It was just in the glass for effect.
Just Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd might have drank. I'm not going to stick up for him. Hey, I like the bit with Hal, too. And next week, I know you're actually going to even be taking apart the gearbox.
Yeah.
Which sounds complicated, but it's easier than it looks, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that's part 2 of this particular segment. We know it's not lube and tube, but you know, we were talking with Hal, and you have the engine apart, you have the gearbox there. Why not get it cleaned? Okay, it's got all that gunk inside, and you're going to see, really, as you mentioned, how easy it is to be able to do that. He's got some nice tricks for us.
Yeah, we want the guys, our viewers, to feel comfortable, just getting into these models, making them work better. In fact, what are we going to do for them if they have other questions?
And that's a good point. If you have a question or something you'd like to see Hal tackle, specifically his area is steam locomotives. So in harmony with that, if you have it, send it to us via email at mme@brasstrains.com, and we'll go ahead and answer it on these upcoming series, because we're going to be doing them each week. We're going to have the little how-to with Hal. So we're going to cover a variety of topics, from mechanical portions even into spraying models. So if you got questions, send it to us and we'll see if we can get them answered.
And we hope it's a segment that you'll want to go back and see again and again until you're comfortable with each of the things that you cover with him, Roland.
Yeah.
Now, we kind of can call it an announcement. At least it's an idea.
Yeah.
Exciting with Chuck Sted. Can you imagine UTI rolling out those 20 Heritage units?
You know, absolutely stunning if we can get this project done.
Yes.
It's a big project, though, because as you mentioned, 20 of them. Customer can reserve all 20. Again, they're talking about rolling these out 4 or 5, at a time during a year or so. So what we're going to do is to be able to gauge that interest, because UTI wants to, and admittedly so, they want to see how much interest there is in those. We're going to have them available in our reservations section of our new brass on our website. But what we're going to do is we're going to waive the deposit. Okay? So if you're interested in ordering the entire set, again, it's going to come out over the years. Or if you're interested in ordering individual ones from this series, we can go ahead and do that too. So just go to our new brass section, place a reservation. We're not going to ask for any other information, just if your interest is there.
And it was interesting when we were talking with Chuck, even though there's only maybe not a tremendous amount of difference with the model itself, just a couple different prototypes. Those paint schemes are dramatically different, and it's not an easy thing. There's a lot that goes into it. So gauging the actual interest of this project will be very important, whether it gets built or not.
Yeah. So, and also, Dan, one thing we want to mention with that, we talked with Chuck, we're looking into possibly getting or developing a display case for that if you wanted to get all 20 of them. So that's something to look forward to too. So it's a nice project. We hope it works. We hope it's going to go.
Now next week, we're seeing the Durango and Silverton over our shoulder, but how do they make those things run? How do they keep them running? Well, if you love trains like we do, getting into that Roundhouse, we were very fortunate to get really behind the scenes exclusive access where we're going to take you and talk to some of the engineers and see what goes into a working Roundhouse today. So that's a very exciting episode.
Yeah, and our buddy Jimmy Booth, he was out there with us, and he's got a little part where he was able to just go inside the cab of a steam loco there, show the different components of that. Really nice video. You're going to really see how everything works. So he's a good, knowledgeable person to have on our side. We know that.
Yes, and while we were out in Denver, we made the trip up to Castle Rock. And there in Colorado, we'll see the Don Meeker layout. That is the Rocky Mountain line. It's a joint line. It's very well done, beautiful operations. We had a good time being there, and we know our viewers will enjoy seeing that as well.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And speaking of these shirts, we were talking about them earlier in the show, Dan.
I got mine.
Yeah, me too. So again, we just wanted to mention, if you want to order your shirt, go ahead and do so. They're available on our site now at brasstrains.com. Just select your size and we'll get it out to you. If we do run out, we'll reorder some more, so we'll let you know when they'll become available again. But right now, we do have all the sizes available for that.
Yeah, but order fast if you want them, because I have a feeling if the guys around the shop are any indication, you're going to love this shirt.
Yeah, Boyd did a nice job on these, teaming up with him.
Speaking of Boyd.
Yeah, where is he?
Where did he go?
Let's see, he's not drinking wine over there at the bar.
You know what? We gave him some work to do, didn't we?
Oh, that's right. He said he would help us out.
Yeah, that's nice. He was willing to. We have so much to do around here. We've been so busy, and he said he'd give us a hand on a few of the things we needed some help with.
Yeah. So let's peek in and see what he's doing.
Yeah, let's go check in on Boyd and see what he's been up to.
These orders. Okay.
Hey, Boyd, here's some more.
What are you working on, Boyd?
Well, I'm working on Season 4's logo for Monday Morning Express.
Well, if we put out a coloring book which combines a steam engine and a passenger car, it will be perfect. Thank you.
It's really hard to work on this Mac platform. I'm doing my best.
Hey, Boyd, thanks a lot for coming and helping us out around the shop here today.
Oh, man. Is there anything else I can do?
Well, as a matter of fact, hey, Dan's on his way back right now, but we do have some painting.
All right, let's get to it. I love painting.
Excellent.
Man, that sounds fun.
I asked them if they needed any help in painting. This is not what I was thinking of. This is crazy. Whew. Man, Dan's asking way too much out of me. Just to pay off this tour, doing all this work. I wish that there was an easier way to do this. I think that's it.
I'm Boyd Reyes with Union Terminal Imports.
Hey, Boyd, it's almost 10:30. Show's about to begin. We ready?
Hold on, I'm working on the best part.
Let's go. Show must go on.
Okay, I'll be there.
All right, on Season 1, Dan did an incredible shot. But you know what? It's not that incredible. It's pretty easy.
Oh, thank you once again for calling brasstrains.com. Thank you for your order, and we will get it out as soon as possible. Goodbye.
All right, hey, Boyd, come on. Let's get these things listed. We ain't got all day. Chop, chop.
Oh, man. You guys gotta give me a break. For Season 3, let's add some more special effects and wow sounds. So, I'm gonna push this up, add more cowbell to Roland's voice, and let's pick up this one a little bit, and I wonder what this one does too. Well, let's go with this. I wonder what this does.
Seriously, Boyd, how long is this gonna take?
I'm painting here! Come on, man! Go around! Wow, I can't believe I gotta clean this whole city. Dan's really made me clean everything with a Q-tip. I can't believe this. One day I'll be finished. Soon, I hope.
Hey, Dan?
Yeah.
Hey, are you playing with Legos again?
No. Why do you ask? I'm over here organizing the brass, trying to get things listed.
Seeing too many listings going up, so...
I'm on it. All right, strike a pose, lovely. All right, talk to me. All right. Well, this is Roland's desk. There's not that much to it. What is it? Food orders. So, well, let me see what Dan's doing right now. Hey, Dan.
I'm sorry, you've reached the desk of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Come on. Stop clowning around. Let's get to work over there.
I was totally napping, dude. You woke me up.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there's a secret room somewhere around here. How do I get in back here? There it is. Oh, Lordy.
Well, hey, Boyd, listen. Appreciate all the work today. It's been a nice long day. Appreciate all the help. Hey, do me a favor. Just shut the lights off when you go, will you? And hey, watch this stuff. It's expensive. Thanks again.
Okay, thanks.